Geelong Best and Fairest winner, two-time All-Australian, Melbourne Premiership player, most importantly, Liv Purcell. Welcome to the DeeBrief.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be on.
Oh no, it's an absolute pleasure, and it's all ours. Thank you, especially also for doing it after hours. We know it's busy weeks for all of you, so we very appreciate you taking the time.
No worries at all. Thanks so much.
So we'll get on to you, but just to cover off the bad news from the weekend, what's the mood around the club? Obviously, a disappointing result on the weekend, and we're going to talk about that a bit later on. But what was the mood in the rooms?
Yeah, it was obviously disappointing. It's always when you get to put yourself in that position to be top four and get a double chance. You hope to win the first one so you can book a spot in the prelim. But yeah, I thought the girls did obviously really well in that first quarter, and then it was just a bit of an arm wrestle from there. But in that case, I guess as I was saying before, you are lucky to book a spot in the top four. So for us, it means that we just get to play again, whereas a lot of other teams are eliminated. So I think that obviously really frustrating, disappointed, but we got to come in Monday and we're grateful that the girls get to go again. So you have to pretty quickly switch that mindset to, you get another chance to play a game of footy, which is exciting, and just be ready to go again, that our season's not over.
Yeah, and not an easy game of football either. Adelaide beat the Saints by 44, so they're in form, but I guess that's what you got to do to win a premiership is beat the top teams.
Yeah, exactly.
So we also don't want to dwell on the most obvious question, but let's just start with it so that we can get it out of the way. How is your recovery going? We're all fingers crossed that we're going to see you round one next year. We're all pumped for it. How's it looking?
Yeah, no, it's actually going really well. I'm actually 10 weeks post-op today. So yeah, I'm just in that it's not the most exciting phase. It's all very repetitive. So yeah, it's a lot of running tech and getting ready to run in hopefully a month's time, and then just a lot of strength work in the gym. So my sessions can be quite repetitive at the moment, but I know it's for a good purpose in the next 4 weeks to hopefully run, which will make it a bit more exciting.
Yeah. I know this is a stupid thing to say, but there is an element when you get to this time of year that you're better to have done it in round 2 than like round 12, because then you're right to go for next season.
That's exactly where my question was just about to go.
Yeah. No, it is not that you want to do an injury at all. I think, just with the season being so short. But it probably has, in terms of timing, been better that it's done early rather than something like now. I guess but by the time the 9 months comes around, that would be when pre-season starts next year. So I should be be involved a lot more and be in pre-season, be firing for next year. But it's it's not it does help having all the staff and everyone around during this time, and the girls being in finals and stuff. It makes training and rehab a little bit more enjoyable rather than just being on your own. So I guess that's some good out of it.
Do you have anyone keeping you company a lot in rehab at the moment, Liv, or is it pretty isolating, or how has that been for you this time?
Like I said before, it probably helps the girls being in season, and then I guess throughout the season them going so well. We've obviously had a lot better season than we did this year than we did last year, so it just makes the mood and the vibes a lot more enjoyable around the club. So that really helps you get through those sessions. And then at the moment, I only have one other friend in rehab at the moment, which is Maeve. So I did have a few early stages, but you kind of don't want anyone with you in those rehab sessions. So I'd rather be get everyone else out and just have me in there at the moment. But like I said, I feel like you have everyone around you, and the club's been really good at still keeping me involved. So I guess it's not it's not too isolating, and the club's done a really good job in that space.
And we mentioned off the top about moving from, just to digress a little bit, moving from Geelong to Melbourne. Was one of the reasons sort of that culture that you sort of just mentioned a little bit then?
I think it's so. It was, it feels so long ago now, but I really enjoyed like my time at Geelong. I think it was really good for my start of the career. Like I got to play pretty much straight away in the midfield, which it was pretty cool as an 18-year-old, and probably comfortable as well being from Geelong too. It just helps being close to home. But I think once COVID hit and that sort of my contract was sort of up, so I was just sort of deciding what to do. I think it was just time to get out and of Geelong and try something different. And then I know Melbourne were interested, so it sort of just worked out in that way. And then I feel like I was just needed something different. I'm glad I did come over because obviously we won a premiership, and then I just feel like I've grown as a player and as a person as well. So definitely think it was the right move to make.
That's a really refreshing take, Liv, because I think we hear so often, across both programs, men's and women, how many players get drafted somewhere else and then want to go back to where they came from. So it's lovely to hear you talking about that. I was in Geelong, that's where I'm from, and then made that choice to move and go off and do something different for yourself.
Yeah. I guess I'm still not too far from home as well. So I always think like I get the best of both. Like my family are down by the beach, so it's still nice having that over summer. But then, when I'm up in Melbourne, there's so much footy now, like that we're training during the day. So it just makes it a lot easier just to be close to Amy Park or like it's not that far with Casey Fields as well now too. So it just makes it a lot more easier for what we have to do. Yeah.
We've never heard anything bad about Geelong, honestly, but we have heard from other players that the difference between some of the clubs in the comp and Melbourne is night and day, to quote one player. What is it about Melbourne? Because fans are very proud of that. Like everyone that we speak to say that the program across men's and women's is really good. There's a lot of connection within the club. Can you distill it down to a couple of points at Melbourne? Like what is it about the club that players really genuinely seem to love?
Yeah. I just think from when I came across as, I guess I was, what was I going, like 21, just as a young player coming across to Melbourne, I feel like maybe as they were probably in the competition from the very start, I feel like they just got, just established the women's program really well and had it in a really good spot for when I came to it. And they'd obviously been quite successful before that, before I came, obviously making finals and things like that, but never quite reaching that premiership until that 2022 year. But just in terms of, I felt like they were very professional in the women's program, and I just felt like really actually were supportive of what we were trying to do, not just being like, oh yeah, there's a girls program, like that's all right, just go as it is. But like I feel like Mick is really big on like wanting to make us better athletes and a better team. So I feel like those things, that's probably a big reason why I came across, is just how probably professional the club were and like how driven they were to actually win a premiership. And like even now that we've won that, they still feel that same, like wanting to chase another one. So that's something that I've really enjoyed while I've been here.
What I would say in that regard, this is very encouraging. Let me get this fact right. You've re-signed to 2027. This is very exciting.
That's great news for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good news for me.
You are in the perfect age bracket. We've got a lot of players. We've talked about this a lot this year, that we've got a lot of players in that age bracket that the next 2 or 3 years is quite exciting. Where do you see the improvement coming? We probably do have to improve a little bit more, if we're going to, who knows what will happen in the next 3 weeks, but there's a lot of improvement to come from Melbourne. Where do you see it?
Yeah. It is an exciting time. I think even having like some new draftees this year, like they've obviously brought a lot of energy and buzz within our program. And yeah, from what I've like seen in the game, like we had seven players that played their first final. So for me, that's exciting for the future, and like hopefully we all just stick together for a long time as well. But yeah, I guess like with your teams like Brisbane and Adelaide and I say North, they have been together for a long time and have grown. So I hopefully see that like a lot of us players in that same age bracket will stick together and like we'll get stronger. Like I feel like we've always been pretty good and have sustained high success, but yeah, I guess it's just sticking together. And I think we're pretty unlucky at the moment with like a player like Maeve gone down in our back line and then Edo early. It just takes a player out of each line. But I guess it does give like experience to some other players. But yeah, it's just hard in those times in finals when you really want a full, everyone healthy in a firing list. But it gives opportunities for others to step up as well.
Yeah, that's definitely something that we've been talking about on the podcast over the last couple of seasons
absolutely.
with the unfortunateness of the injuries that we have had.
Especially last season. I think that was a reoccurring theme, wasn't it?
Getting some of the experience into the younger players like Georgia Gall and Georgia Campbell, for example, and then the three draftees, or the two of the draftees and Layla who came in after back this year, and then also Gemma as well. Just how well do you think that's put us in good stead going forward for the future? Just getting that experience in.
Yeah, like I said before, I think even just before, like having 7 players play finals, like that's going to help us for future as well. Like if we get ourselves in a good spot again next year, like they'll all be another preseason, another season under their belt, and they'll be even more prepared for next year. But like to have a lot of them as like 19 or 19-year-olds, and most of them under 25 or something, like those I know when I've come across to Melbourne how much just playing in finals and those experiences had helped me, like even being when I first came to Melbourne playing finals and being in a losing grand final, how much it helped me for the next season to be ready and to play in a grand final again and know that feeling and understand it as well. So I feel like for them, even though we did lose, like those experiences are really good to have, win or lose a final. Like hopefully they come in again this week and just be ready to play, and like they've had a taste of what it takes. So just like it's another game, so just getting used to. Like, I feel like a lot of it is just the build up before a game, like that the nerves that can have like the nerves take over some people, but just realizing like what you can control and how to like just embrace that and
So
and just enjoy it really.
The new players that have played their final this week for the first time live like that. I guess it's that thing of the unknown when they haven't played in a final, right? And so they've got that out of the way now, and they're going into this week having that experience that they can draw on to say, oh yeah, like this is what this is what I can control, this is what I can't control, and taking that and using that in the game, I guess.
100%. Yeah, exactly that.
I'd add to the list a player that we've mentioned about 1,000 times this year, Saraid. Like Saraid probably doesn't play last year without injuries. She gets a few games under her belt, and then she comes in this year and sets the world on fire. So, like there are silver linings sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, like obviously I feel like her and Talia have been really good for our back line in terms of tall key defenders, and like Brisbane and like your likes of North and even Adelaide this weekend, they have obviously some really good tall forwards. So yeah, it's been really good for those two. And like I said, having like Maeve and someone out of the back line, like they've had to step up, and I think they've done that really well. So yeah.
Well, whatever the reasons for the loss on the weekend, Talia Gillard was not one of them. She had an absolutely ripping game. You've mentioned her a couple of times, so we'll jump to this. We don't believe the injury report anymore. They just randomly pluck weeks out. Can you tell us what is happening with Maeve? Is it season ending the hammy, or is there a chance of sneaking back in later in the finals?
Yeah, I think that's the hope. Like, I don't think they'll rule anything out. To me, like, she's progressed from what I've seen. Like, obviously having that injury, they can be quite conservative, which they do with old players, and they're a little bit unsure the timeline there, whether she'd make it back for finals later in the season. But I think with how she's progressed in the last week, she's as she says, she's defying odds apparently. So um,
I
she's
love it.
actually progressed really well and is back running, and yeah, she's pretty much trying to do everything she can to hopefully get back. And but at the moment, she's obviously getting around the girls still. But yeah, I hope to see her back for finals. But we just got to make sure we win this week and then go from there. But I think she's doing everything she can to get back.
Can I say how depressing it is that you've called her an old player? She's what, 26 or something? Is it how old?
Did I call her old?
I don't think you necessarily called her old. I think you
It was
said
implied.
the old players and how they manage the hamstrings. I don't know that it was like directly saying that, mate.
Maybe more experienced player.
Yeah, she's an experienced player. Yeah.
I love it. And Edo is just normal concussion protocols. There's no, well, I mean, that
Yeah.
injury, but
Yeah, I actually didn't hear too much about her. I know, obviously, we've only had this session on Monday and we have a main training session tomorrow, but I know we didn't actually do much at all on the Monday for the main players, just a recovery session. So she pretty much just rested and didn't do a whole of a lot. But I'm assuming it's normal protocols for that concussion. So hopefully she's feeling better just in terms of her own health as well. So it's pretty unfortunate for Edo because I know she'd want to be out there. But hopefully she's all good if we keep progressing further.
That's a lot of talk about the here and now, and I wonder whether we can kind of pivot just to talking about you, Liv, a little bit. You're, we've touched on growing up in Geelong. I'm always curious, particularly with speaking to players in the AFLW system about their, where did the love of football start for you, and what did that look like in your junior football? I read that you're born in Geelong, but your family moved to Queensland, and I'm wondering, like, when you went to Queensland, what was the football scene like for you there at that point in time, and like, what age were you when you started? Who got you interested in football?
Yeah. I guess I'll start. I normally say that probably my dad was probably the biggest influence, and my family's a very big footy family. I know, growing up in Geelong, obviously he was quite a popular name, like in that time play, and then he was pretty well known in Geelong. He'll probably not like me saying that, but he was a pretty good player. He was actually drafted as a 17-year-old to Collingwood, but back then they still had jobs and like didn't really have contracts then. So he got to do a pre-season with Collingwood, and then unfortunately was still working and had a work accident, so couldn't quite make it to playing AFL. But played a lot of footy elsewhere, like in the Waffle, and then when we did live in Queensland, he played in the Quaffle up there as well. So we when I was in Queensland, obviously I was only really young, so I wasn't really exposed to much footy there, but just loved the lifestyle of the beach and things like that. And then we came back to Geelong, and I feel like I've always loved it growing up, just watching it all the time, but probably not till I started high school, and then women's footy sort of kicked off, and I had a lot of school footy at my high school, so that's probably when like my interest grew in AFL. But besides that, like our family loves sport, and I have 4 sisters, so we just did as many sports as we could, like
What other
basketball,
sports?
netball,
Yeah, okay.
surf life saving, those sort of
Yeah.
things. So yeah, they sort of kept us busy, which is nice. But then yeah, probably football became a real interest. Yeah, when I started high school, just because I loved it, and then all my friends were doing it as well. So yeah,
We did say this is why you win so much contested footy, having 5 girls in the house.
yeah,
Must have had to fight for everything.
yeah, absolutely. They're pretty competitive, and they're probably just as hot headed as me. So yeah,
you
I can
tell us
see
a
where I
little
get
bit?
it from.
Can you tell us, Liv, a little bit about the family dynamic? Like you're, did I read you're the second youngest of the 5 siblings?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
are they all still like in Geelong or Melbourne or other parts? And do you see them often? And I think I've seen some footage on the maybe your Instagram or the footy clubs with your
Oh yeah, nephews.
nephew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I'm super close with my family, so yeah, they love the footy. They love coming to all the games, and yeah, now that I have 2 of my sisters, both have um boys each, is what 2 boys each. So and they're very much into their footy, and and they're going through a phase of collecting footy cards at the moment. So um, they're loving it, and they're on board with like the Demons girls, which is nice.
How old are they, Liv?
They're both. I've got from my sister Georgia 5 and 3, and then from my sister Maddie 6 and 3. So yeah, they're
Pretty good age.
definitely understanding and into their footy at the moment. So yeah, it's I'm lucky to be close with my family, and they're all down the coast still, which I try and get down as much as I can. But yeah, when our footy season's on, they love coming up to Melbourne and making a day of it. So yeah, I'm pretty lucky in that sense.
Oh, guys, I've seen something pop up on Instagram with you and a few of the girls hitting the links.
Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to. I'm not sure if we're very good at it. I've obviously a bit limited at the moment with what I can do, but so I can only do mini golf at the moment. But when I can, we're going to try and hit um the driving range and hopefully the course. Yeah, I'll have to wait down the track a little bit for that. But I'm very much a beach lover, so I'm really missing surfing at the moment. Like that's something that I really love doing. So yeah, again, probably have to wait a few months to do that, which will be good, and like hopefully around summertime, I can get back into that. So yeah, a bit limited on my hobbies at the moment as I am with footy, but yeah, that's all not too far away.
I'm not too sure about surfing, but swimming seems like it would be part of a good recovery plan.
Swimming is definitely a part of it, and I have been trying to get in, but yeah.
We have got a bit of a tradition going on here, asking about other players down at the club. Who do you hang out with? Who are your closest mates at Melbourne?
Who are my closest mates? I float around a few different groups, but probably close with Maeve, Chaplin, Tyler Hanks, Talia Gillard, and B Mackin. They're probably like the ones I probably spend a lot of time with, similar ages, and yeah, we've done a fair bit of like traveling and stuff together. So probably that crew.
It also seems some very competitive beasts in there as well. Judging by their footy, I don't know any of them.
Yes.
Are you house sharing with anyone from the club, or is that you keep that separate?
Oh no, I just I live just on my own in an apartment. So yeah, I probably we spend a lot of time together
Yeah.
at the club and then outside of the club. So it's probably nice to have a bit of your own time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which is good.
Blaheen, by the way, if you see her, she had a game on the weekend. She was number one in the votes for sure.
Yeah.
Who do you think's the most improved player down at Melbourne this year? We have our own opinion on this, but interested from your perspective, who's made the most strides this year?
God, that's a good question. Um,
We'll give you one of ours.
yeah,
We
give us
we think
what you guys are
Fitzy has
thinking.
gone up. I mean, she's
Oh, yes.
been good, but
Yeah.
like she's like top tier now. She's
Yeah.
had a season.
Yeah, Fitzy, Fitzy definitely has grown as a player. I don't think that's a surprise really. She loves her footy and like does so much extras. Like I know today she was a bit annoyed about her set shot on the weekend, so she was outside today for a bit, just on the same spot, just doing the set shot on repeat. So she's very driven in that sense. Feel like another one like Riley Witherspoon has really
Totally.
stepped in. I just in terms, I know internally we appreciate the role she plays as a little small forward, just gets after it and hope gets on the end of a few goals. But yeah, she's really stepped up as a player with someone that hasn't played a lot of footy before that. Trying to think who else. And then obviously, as you said, Sarade, like hadn't had a lot of footy previous to this season, has really stepped into her own as a key defender, taking on some really great tall forwards. So so a lot of the defensive acts she does is really great for our team. But yeah, can't go past Fitzy. She's had a really great year.
Yeah, no, we agree. She's maybe not the only one who could work on her goal kicking this week. If you're, if you are,
I agree. I think it is this weekend is that's probably a major thing to work on. We need to convert, but yeah.
it's
sure
funny that
we'll
you
do
mentioned
that.
Riley because I mean we don't know, but yeah, she obviously hasn't played a lot of AFL games. I don't know what her background is like, but she seems so calm. Like when the game is tight, when it's there to be won, I don't know, she just seems calm and she gets it done. Like she doesn't panic with the ball.
Yeah, she looks naturally just like a footballer as well with the way she moves and like as a little forward. So yeah, it's a bit like her personality. She's pretty laid back and doesn't take life too serious. So I feel like it might come across that way in the footy field as well. So yeah.
That's awesome. What about your? Oh no, you go.
No, I was just gonna continue with the club theme and go just along the likes of nicknames. We've asked a few of the players
that's
over
a very
the
important question
over the time on the debrief about nicknames, both about yourself and the funniest one that you've heard from another player.
God, that's tough. Oh, I don't know where this came from. Maybe but we called Talia. She gets Jules, like Julia Gillard. Or she gets Joe as well. Just because I don't know why we went with Joe, but it just because she's just like I don't know, a bit of a goer and does. I can't remember where the name came from, but she gets Joe too.
What
And
about
I saw one today that Shelley Heath's the wrecker. I saw a post about that. Maybe that could stick.
Yeah.
There's not. I'm trying to think. A lot of them are normally just your last names or your
What about
first
the
names.
new recruits this year, Liv? Is there any like Molly and Layla and Maggie? Those are the names that are coming to mind.
Yeah. No, we just shorten their names.
Yeah.
There's nothing been. We should give them a nickname. We should stitch them up, but we haven't got too creative with them. Unless I'm missing someone, but I think Joe or Jules.
If you can't come up with a good nickname for Maggie Marnie, I feel like the club's not trying.
I know, yeah. We actually should. I don't feel like we've put enough time into the nicknames at the moment, but
From
maybe
memory,
of the off season I'll be thinking of something.
That's Mad Monday.
From memory, round one at Whitten Oval, we had friends and family sit behind the cheer squad where we were sitting.
That's right.
And I think it was Eminem or Slim Shady.
And that went to Slim, yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That was for Maggie.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start using that and then hopefully it sticks around the club.
There was a big group of her friends sitting at the back of the cheer squad, wasn't there, Mitch? And I think Beth was really doing some work, putting some work in trying to get some info from them about what would be a suitable nickname, and that's definitely stuck in the cheer squad.
All right. Well, we might have to make it stick in the playing group. So I'll bring that up.
We have Adelaide this weekend. We're conscious also of your time, and you've given us heaps.
That's all right.
What do you? Where's the improvement going to come from against Adelaide? What have we got to do different other than the obvious? What's the talk around the club?
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, that big thing is probably converting in front of goals. Like I feel like over last weekend there was a lot of inside 50s, but it was just making the most of it in front of goal, which I credit to Brisbane. I felt like they probably did that well against us. And then, yeah, I think and to be honest, like Brisbane's first 3 goals did come from free kicks. So it was just more those moments and discipline stuff. Like,
Hang on, 2 of those free kicks were a joke. One
I
of them was
know,
there.
I
One of them
agree.
was
I definitely agree. Yeah.
there.
So it's just like those little moments I feel like can just swing either way. I thought our first quarter against Brisbane, I thought we were flying.
Absolutely.
But like being able to do that for 4 quarters, I feel like against Adelaide we need to start that way and finish that way, just like having control. And I felt like we just controlled the footy really well, opened up the ground, found little ways to play our way, whereas we probably played into their hands a little bit after that first quarter, going down the line a little bit and playing into that style, which is very much Adelaide, similar to Brisbane. They're very swarm, surge forward. So I feel like we need to get our hands on the footy first and play our style, make them defend. Because I feel like we're probably I personally I feel like we're a fitter team. So if we can run them off their legs as well, that will help us. But just converting in front of goals would be good for this week.
It would help, but yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I think so.
Well, as I say, we're absolutely right. We can't wait to see you, Hanksy, Fitzy, maybe lining up for the first bounce in round 1 next year. Every time we make a selection call, by the way, the coaches do the opposite. But that sounds like a fairly good on-ball unit to us to kick off round 1 next year.
Yeah. Looking forward.
Thank you. Appreciate that, guys, and hopefully we win this weekend. That would be good.
Fingers crossed. Well, we will certainly all see you there. But thank you so much for your time, Liv. You're such a legend, and we really appreciate you coming on.
No, appreciate it, guys. Thank you, and thanks for all your support. Like, definitely doesn't go unnoticed, and we'll definitely need it again this weekend. So appreciate it, guys.
So we should probably go through the Brisbane game and dissect it properly. We've covered off most of the major points, but what can you say? Where to begin?
Well, the first quarter was an excellent start, wasn't it? But unfortunately, we just didn't quite manage to continue to play that 4-quarter game, which has probably been a theme across the season, really, hasn't it?
Yeah. See, I mean, as we were saying on WhatsApp, like there is a lot of coulda, woulda, shoulda about the game, but we were unlucky. Like, I mean, luck doesn't come into it, I guess, when you're kicking in front of goal. But if we'd kicked straight,
yes,
Brisbane got a couple of free kick goals that were highly questionable, and then they got that one on 3-quarter time where it literally went through after the sign, and that hurt, that goal. So,
And if we go back to the umpiring, yes, there was contentious about him, but Brizzy flicked the switch in the second quarter, and we brought the heat as we hoped we would in that first quarter, and it was fantastic. But then after the quarter time break, I think it was about the time that Edo went down, which was at the same time as Kate kicking her 100th, which congratulations to Kate. But sort of at that point where we mentioned we're missing Maeve, we then lost our key forward.
Yeah.
Magnets had to probably get thrown a little bit.
Yeah, that completely changed the structure of where the players were on the ground, right?
Yeah, and then
Edo was having a day out too when she went down, so it wasn't just the loss of structure. Like her specific skill set was gone.
And look at her form that she brought into the game. You know, like she kicked 4 goals last week. That's if she has a similar game, that's essentially the difference between winning and losing in a competition where kicking 4 goals in a game is a pretty big day out.
Yeah. And by that, and Brisbane getting ahead, it just allowed them to do those chaos balls going forward, which then meant our backline were under a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
And caused some of those sloppy free kicks, whether they're there or not. The umpires saw it, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was as a result of the higher pressure that Brisbane were able to put on our defence and get it in there a lot quicker.
It's interesting because later in the game, someone that I was sitting next to was talking about how Brisbane was using that chaos ball really well, because Melbourne, in the third and in the fourth, we had plenty of inside 50 entries, but a lot of it was being picked off.
Yep.
And actually what we would have been better to do in some cases is just chaos ball, like literally just, in fact, Taylor Harris did it at one point, went the barrel, but do the barrel inside 50 or just kick it along the ground and literally just leave it up to the
Which is what turned the game against Geelong the week before.
Yeah.
So Geelong and us were pretty even in the first half. That third quarter, we just went all guns blazing and just chaos ball, and that was able to turn that game, get us a bit of that buffer that we needed. And
No, I mean, sometimes the sort of the 40-metre beautiful drop punt is not the right option. It's the easiest one to read and the easiest one to cover. Better do the votes.
Yes,
just quickly before you do, I do have a couple of, as I called it off pod beforehand, a couple of bad stats.
Oh, yeah.
So, unfortunately, we've now lost 4 in a row to Brisbane, which is...
And that was their first finals win against us.
Yeah, our first finals win against us.
Got their monkey off the back.
Yeah, but it's also now our record longest losing streak against the team. So hopefully...
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So 4 in a row.
Have we beaten them since the grand final?
No, have not beaten them since the grand final. We are now 6-6 in 12 meetings between Brisbane.
Yeah, okay.
Which is the only team we've played more than twice without a winning record.
Really?
Yeah. So the other 2 that we don't have a winning record is Hawthorn, where we're 1-1, and Power, where we've only played them once and got done.
I don't want to take full responsibility for the loss, but I did send a WhatsApp message 2 minutes into the game that said, in games where we've kicked a goal inside the first minute, we've only ever lost once. So obviously we went on and lost. Like, I don't know what I was thinking sending that message.
Is that like after the halftime margin as well?
Yeah, well, exactly. Although at least I didn't send that message at the time.
Yeah, true.
But if I sent that on my family WhatsApp group, I would have been kicked off.
Yeah.
Because it's like, of course that was putting the Moz on the eye. Honestly.
But the other 2 concerning stats as well is that was our first loss in Victoria this year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have now lost our last 3 finals, all at Icon.
All at Icon. And that was a bit of a fortress for us during.
Yeah, it's the only 3 times we've lost. So our last 3 finals are the ones we've lost there, and we've won every other game at Icon. So
I mean, we did talk about this on the potty last week. Of course, the dynamic between the commercial side of the club and the football department. Do we win that game at Casey? Like, honestly, probably. But how many people would have seen it? You know.
Well, probably this is a similar amount. I would say we only had 3,500 there, which.
Yeah, I guess. The problem, I guess, also was that there were 3 finals in Melbourne on the weekend and terrible weather across the board. So, it was a lot to turn.
Yeah, I was seriously thinking about going to the West Coast Carlton game on Saturday, and just as the day progressed, the weather got worse. And I just thought, no, I'm just going to stay home and watch it on the TV, and wonder whether people did the same too.
But the question still remains. Like I said this to a couple of people. The crowds on the weekend, 3 in Melbourne. There was one game where it was 2 Melbourne-based teams. Couldn't even crack the 5K mark. Well, no wonder the AFL aren't reserving Marvel for November for the AFLW.
Well, I agree with that. I think the grand final question to the side, I think a large percentage of the crowd at a final, an AFLW final, is neutral.
Yeah.
And I think having 3 games in 3 days at the same ground is kind of unlucky. I don't see any alternative.
No.
But it was kind of unlucky because all the neutral supporters, and there's plenty of them, you're going to come out once. You're not going to come out 3 times.
Yeah.
Which is maybe why this weekend they've got the double header both on Saturday. Like our game, 1:05 will finish by 3, 3:30.
Go to the pub, have a couple of singles, get back in time.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Let's go to the votes.
Yeah, quickly to the votes. So this is Jono's 5 for Kate. I think everyone would have given her
Yeah. She had, 34 and kicked a goal and was just
I'd drag us over the line.
Yes,
kept us in it.
outspoiled.
For Eliza Mack, again, she's probably underrated everywhere except inside the club. 3, Loz Pearce, who had to do plenty. 2 for Shally Heath, and then he gave 1 to Georgia Campbell, who did have to play that hybrid role after Ito went off, and they were sort of throwing the tall magnets around. I was vaguely similar, 5 to Kate, 4 to Eliza. I gave 3 to Blaheen. I thought she was amazing in the first half. Like, I know that there's a bias because she was on our side of the ground, so you sort of notice her more.
Yeah.
But I thought she was just brilliant. Maybe the best game she'd played for us. I gave 2 votes to Talia, who I thought was a rock in defence, and 1 vote to Riley. I think Liv would have agreed with both of them. But I thought Riley, she's just calm with the footy. She doesn't panic kick. She makes good decisions.
You can see her improving week on week, I think, with
totally.
every game she plays. She's just becoming more confident. It's great improvement to see. And I think that small forward role that she's playing, just seeing her be able to pick the ball off when it comes to ground and run away and
Totally.
although that one where she
Could have ran
took
in.
the shot and Bano was there.
Yeah. Well,
That was,
we have also talked about this, that final decision inside 50, the last possession.
mm,
North is really good at that. Brisbane is really good at it, where sometimes the best option is that handball over the top, the one more possession.
Yep.
I think we do that pretty poorly, honestly. But, it is an experience thing. What are our stats against Adelaide, Mitch?
All right.
Give us some good news.
So this will be our 12th meeting, which will now re-tie the most opponent with Brisbane. No wonder that those two are up there. We've played them virtually every year and multiple finals. So we didn't play them obviously this year in the home and away. We also didn't play them in 2020.
wow, so it's a while since we've played
I
them.
don't remember
No,
last year.
yeah, we played them last year.
Yeah,
so
you're saying it. Yeah.
6-5 record. So hopefully we can turn that into 7-5. Average winning margin's about 17, losing margin 23. So what's that? About 3 to 4 goals average. So the games, 2017 was the 2-point win in Darwin, which was a really, really good result. I remember watching that in a pub down at Phillip Island with Dad, which I think that sort of kept us in the hunt for potentially playing that grand final when it was only 1v2. Beat them at Casey in 2018, beat them again then lost to Casey at Casey in 2019. As I said, didn't play them in 2020. And then we've played them quite a lot since. So beat them at Casey in 2021, lost in that prelim.
Yeah, I remember that.
Lost at Norwood in season 6, and then played them again in the grand final at Adelaide Oval and lost there. Round 1 the following year, beat them. Then beat them at Icon in that year's qualifying final. Unfortunately, they beat us the year after we won the flag. And then last year, I remember it was a nice calm Wednesday night in that condensed fixture where we beat them at Norwood, which was a really, really good win considering the year that we had last year.
It's good having you around because I think of that prelim that we lost and the grand final that we lost, and so I just have this perception that Adelaide have the wood over us, but actually they don't at all. We've ultimately got the wood over them, particularly recently. Yeah, well, that gives me a bit more hope.
Yeah, and just made it into finals. Like if they'd lost that game to Freo, they wouldn't have qualified. So.
Yeah, but the problem with Adelaide is that they're big game.
Yeah.
They're a big game team, so
and they're maybe they're just getting their momentum now at this stage of the season.
Yeah,
hopefully not.
Yeah, I mean, losing Maeve hurts, losing Ito hurts, but we do finally this year have depth on the list. So I mean, we were talking about this, Layla Ebert, inexplicable. Well, not inexplicable. It's just a tight selection battle, but she was dropped for this week. You'd have to think she'll probably come back in, I would have thought.
Goldie are fit. I think the injury report came out saying that Mavo's still a chance, but I think it's highly unlikely.
Yeah.
And Goldie needs to pass the fitness test for this week, but otherwise you've got the two girls that are out for the season in Liv and and Jacinta, and then Ito in the concussion protocol. So
Yeah. So, we beat Adelaide. We get Ito back anyway. We can talk about that next week, but we've got to get through this week.
sorry, just to go back on our matchups with Adelaide, we actually did play them in the preseason this year.
Oh, that's right.
That's
We beat 'em.
Over there, and it was a quite blustery day from memory. And
It's the only time we've won on the road this year.
correct, it is where we.
Look up there, Michael.
I think we kicked 2 against the Wind in the first quarter, and kept them scoreless, which essentially was the end result. We won by 14 points.
Can I just say, we didn't really cover some of the stats for Liv, but given that this is the Liv Purcell episode, she won the best and fairest for Geelong when she was effectively 19. She turned 20 that year. She was named in the All-Australian team. She did her knee. She's done her other knee once before. She came back and the next year made the All-Australian team. Her stats are unbelievable.
That was it was season 7. So she came back in season 6, played in the losing grand final against Adelaide, and then season 7 was the All-Australian.
Imagine we get because she's had 2 seasons now that have been injury interrupted. Imagine we get a look at her in full fitness and full season.
Just look at her in the 6 quarters she played.
Yes.
She had 34 touches and then 19 touches in a half.
Yeah.
In a game, essentially the 2 games that she's played, she averages 25 disposals. Yeah. And that's in a game and a half.
Yeah. It was like round 6 before she was losing across a few stats at the club. Anyway, fingers crossed we get her back next week. Yeah. Tips for this week?
Oh, I'm going to say Melbourne, but it's going to be close. I think, what did you say the average winning margin was?
The average margin is 17.
Yeah.
There's 2 margins of 2 points, which was our first game in Darwin and our most recent matchup, official matchup. And then we've got 4 wins of that 3 to 5 goal margin.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, our average losing margin, there was one that was 60, which at the time and for a long time was our highest, our biggest defeat, which was the 2019 game at Casey. But the other 4 games have been less than 3 goals. So,
see, I think Melbourne, we've been up and down this year, but we have not been consistently down at any point. I think we bounce back. I think we win by 17 points. I'm going to take the average.
I'm going to say 2 goals.
You guys are a lot more optimistic than me. I think we need to play very well. Adelaide are a really, really good team, especially when it comes to this time of year. And I reckon it's going to be less than a goal as a win. Less than a goal.
Well, whatever happens, it's not going to be good for our blood pressure.
No.
The game is at 1:05 p.m. on Saturday. It's the first leg of a double header, so you can stay on and watch Hawks play Carlton at 7:15 that night. But
it's also pretty handy with parking and all that we don't have to fight with the first game leaving
as they're leaving. Or just catch the tram up from the city, have a couple of lagers, and then go and meet your friends for dinner. But we will all see you there. Until then, go Dees.
Go Dees.